Hello?
Yo,
What happened?
I answering messages. Wait, I
Oh,
haven't looked at my messages yet.
Okay, let's start with a new one. I have a question for you. Okay. If you all were the government, how would you have handled the COVID situation? Or let's say today, now, how would you make things better or change things?
Ivan, go first.
Props to the government. I actually think they're doing a very good job, regardless of what people say.
So you won't do anything differently?
When we compare to other nations around the world, we are already doing one of the best already.
No. But
It's
what
not
will
like
you do? Don't just like props here, props there. What will you do to make elevate it? Is there a thing that you can think of?
elevate it. I guess consistency in certain things that they do. There are some rules. This is a bit nitpicking, but still things that people point out lah. Like, wedding cannot say yam sing, but can say cheers, something like that. Like,
Really,
what's the
meh?
point, right? I think it was that. I think there was someone told me. I may be wrong. This may or may not be a thing. And then you can have certain like F&Bs. Why drinking after 10:30 is not allowed? The virus spread more, or you just trying to prevent people from mingling longer? It's like, and then why KTV cannot? Why must they completely shut down instead of like just let them operate, but you just let them have more secure measures, like maybe everyone get their own wrapping around the microphone or something, like you put the microphone in a ziplock, then let them sing, or and change the ziplock every time. I mean, there's definitely a way that they can operate while keeping within the measures. I mean, KTV as in karaoke, like Teo Heng, you're not thinking. I see your
We
faces
never
not like
say
Siam Tu or
we
anything.
never say anything. We never say anything, bro. You are guilty, that's all. You are guilty, it speaks for itself, okay? You didn't say a single
Expose
fucking
myself.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so why like
You want to put flower, you just say.
I put flower on myself for singing well. Uh, yeah lah. So a bit more consistent in their treatment to various things lah.
Okay, lah. So you won't change much, lah.
Just more consistency.
How about you, Joseph?
Honestly, I come more from the business perspective, bro. Your question is a bit tricky in the sense that the easy answer is, okay, I look at all the numbers. Okay lah, it's lesser than 150 ma. Why people get so crazy and all that? But for me, two things. One is the way my industry has been hit really badly, and they say they give JSS to companies and all that. But I'm telling you, and this is not hearsay. It's it's evidence that I've seen. There are companies that so landlords that do not give the JSS grant. They just put it in system, but paper wise, on paper everything nice, but they never give the JSS to their tenants. Okay, so there's no follow through. That's my point. Better follow through is needed by government bodies to ensure that private landlords are giving the JSS grant to their tenants. Number two is, I feel, okay, of course this is in hindsight, and I'm no fucking scientist or whatever, but I'm just thinking from a layman's point of view. If you didn't fucking continue bringing in Indian workers, and your air pocket that you have with China, you I don't know why you're still continuing that. If you didn't just shut that down, we won't be fucking seeing the numbers that we're seeing. And my point is this: if the investments in all these construction companies were not in government secured places like Temasek Holdings and GE, do you think they'll be giving this much of fucks about it? Their very easy answer is, oh, we still need Singapore still we are a small country and we still need the resources from places like this to sustain industries such as infrastructure and all that. But my point is, that one you don't mind opening, but your fucking F&B, Yeah lah, you don't care about us, what? SMEs will find a way to bounce back or reskill ourselves because it's not contributing to your economy, to the kind of GDP that makes your dick hard.
So on a
So
larger scale, consistency as
yes.
well.
But to very specific matters.
Yeah lah,
Because they are very grey with shit like this, bro. They are very grey, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about the whole entertainment, or you 4 people, 5 people, you cannot talk more, cannot put loud music, because honestly, there's no point us talking about that, right? If Lawrence Wong thinks that if your music above 60 decibel, beyond 61 decibel, your saliva will come and touch another table. I don't know where the fuck he did his research for that. So there's no point me talking about that. But what really matters is, would we have reached this point of the semi-CB if you had just curbed the entry of people from India, Bangladesh, and so on and so forth?
In
Right?
other words, it also like take a hit for the economy lah.
Yes,
Just-
or let me propose something else which nobody ever think of, or they don't want to do it because it might be more expensive. You talk about us Singaporeans to reskill ourselves, right? Why the fuck don't you pump in money to reskill us to do jobs like that, and you raise the wage? Cannot, because then the investment that you put into those projects will be fucking cut by God knows how much.
Yep.
Because it was the investments that were put in were for manpower costs that are Bangla, you pay 1,000 or 800 or whatever fuck amount you're paying them. So why not reskill us? Say, fuck it, I don't need Bangladeshi and Indian workers anymore. All those who were construction workers before, or were doing blue label jobs in plumbing and electrical, come, I raise a wage. You'll go for a speed course within 1 month, 2 months, and then I want you all back as construction workers. You don't tell me they won't do if you don't pay them lah. Fuck you.
No, but actually hard to say lah. This one, if
Fuck,
I'm
bro, this is a mindset that you and so many thousands of Singaporeans have, because they are convinced into a societal thought process that no, we won't do, Singaporean won't do one. And anyway, you are not the person to talk about Singapore won't do, because you come from a different tier in our society. You should ask the people who are plumbers and construction electrical workers, Singaporeans. You ask them, if I reskill you, skills future, you don't have to pay. And then when you come out, I raise your wage of doing this job. Will you do or you won't do? I fucking promise you they will do. You tell me that as an electrician they're getting paid fucking what, 2,009, 2,000, 3,000? No, they're not.
okay, well, you hear me out. Okay, so
Yeah.
you want to reskill a contractor to do manual labor. First, when he gets reskilled to go down the manual labor path as a career.
No, not a construction worker. I'm telling you, take people who have got similar skill sets within the construction industry, but they're not construction workers.
Also, the contractor or electrician become construction worker.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So for them to go down this new career path, so they need to have that security
Incentive.
that hey, they will always be paid this X amount to be a construction worker for as long as they want. They want to have the job security as a construction worker. So you must promise them that they will be able to have a job as a construction worker, and it will be a industry that they can maintain on the long run. And then so these guys come in as a first year new experienced construction worker. Instantly you're fighting against the Indians and the Chinese, who are very experienced, very good construction workers with the knowledge, the technical knowledge, and they're willing to take lower pay. You can pay these new Singaporean manual construction workers higher pay, but how will you compete the private firms that comes with a more experienced, more qualified, skilled workforce that are taking in 1/3 or one-fourth, a quarter or third of the pay? Instantly you lose out already. What? You have this new guy, you want to pay him 4 times more versus these experienced people being paid 1/3, 1/4 the price. How to fight like that?
Very, very good. Very, very good question. And you know, go on.
And then the government, in order to maintain this, because the discrepancy will always be there. You must completely block off the foreign workers, and then you need to keep on funding these people the difference in pay. For example, if the foreign worker is earning $800, but you're paying these guys 2.8, the money must always come from the government. 2K more to pay for them. So, and it must always, it is endless unless like the price of foreign workers rise so high that it reaches 2.8. If not, you'll always be paying that premium for the same skill set.
So here's the thing, right? This is not an overnight solution, isn't it? Right?
Yep.
The simple fact is this country has not given value to these jobs for Singaporeans. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the same reason why they have constantly said that, oh, we need to bring in the Indian workers and the Banglas because no one will do the job. And we can talk in circles about this. You make a very fair point that if a private company is a project is put out there and then they bid for several construction companies to take it, right? And one company is saying, I can support your local manpower, so I can give you labor from Singapore, so your unemployment goes low because they are hiring Singaporeans, right? But your cost is going to be that much. Now the question you got to ask yourself is not the construction companies, is the government going to want to invest in that? That is the question. Are you going to put more value in putting your own people out there to take the pinch on profit? But then, of course, some another thing could be said, which will come from your angle as well, Ivan. Well, then this cost, who gonna absorb? Is it gonna trickle down now to people who stay in the houses? When you got HDB, are you willing to pay now $800,000 instead of $500,000 for a 3-room flat? Now, my point is, the cost of materials always remain the same. If you ask me, the government is making a killing out of our HDB, okay? A killing. After they build one BTO and 30 or 40 years later they en bloc, by the 10th year they've already covered above and beyond. They sell that same building 3 times over every time a new person comes in. So you tell me, bro. You tell me. Because let me go back to the main point why we brought this up. What could we have avoided the current situation? You and me sitting here doing a fucking Zoomcast, could we have avoided it? That's the point of me bringing this up. Because it didn't come from you and me. The current numbers didn't come from you and me eating char kway teow in the coffee shop, It came from community cases that came from overseas.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a temporary situation, but we are proposing a very long-term solution for it.
Quite a few layers.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
after this situation ends, the problem isn't there anymore. Like, let's say the virus is completely gone,
So
then
they won't even
we can
bother.
we can resume taking foreign talents back. I mean, foreign laborers into Singapore already. Then we don't need these reskilled people as construction workers anymore.
You're right. But I actually personally saw what Joseph said as an opportunity for the government to make the change for the long term, whereby it's the perfect excuse to spend and slow things down and all this.
But shit. They won't.
Obviously, they won't. It's a hope only. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Logically and financially, they wouldn't do it lah. From your point of view, which I agree as well. From a business sense, it doesn't make sense to do it.
Because there's 2 different matters, right? One is just paying low skilled people. Then the other thing is into construction workers. Like, I mean, you can support them in other work, but it doesn't have to be construction work. You could support them in like upscaling, more value added work. It doesn't have to be construction work. You can
so
support
then
them
why
in manual
why
wages.
Then why our degree holders who go and study in fucking NUS that's considered one of the top 5 fucking universities in the world need to come and reskill themselves, and fucking India, they hire fucking India orang from Merrill Lynch and banks to come here and run in VP positions here in Singapore. You tell me your company don't have people from India.
Cause my boss ang mo, then he want to hire ang mo ma. Then what can we do? Then the
Same
banks,
shit,
the banks
Fuck you, bro.
boss.
Hey, I show you. You know what's this or not? Fuck you. Because if they were in any other country, bro, the first thing on the top of the list would be the government would say it's mandatory for them to hire 70% of locals. Here, they don't fucking care. Government say, Namai, I don't give a shit. As long as you can pay taxes, that's all I want.
No, we do have a quota, but it's like our banks. The boss Indian, then his top management all Indian also. You see the Chinese
And
firm, all Chinese. The boss in
And my
Chinese,
po-
then he bring all his Chinese friend. So it's
But the point I'm
kind of
making,
a big boss preference.
no, the point I'm making is I'm not finding a solution. I'm trying to tell you what I see. I'm saying that in Australia, in Europe, you'd never have this. You can also say, yeah, but Joseph, you look how much of problems they have with their workforce. You know, every time got strike lah, this, that. I'm not saying it's a perfect system. I'm just saying that for better or for worse, they still put their own people first.
And
you
it's
don't
not a
come and
government.
tell me, hey, but
It's not a
Sorry?
government problem. What even if I'm in Australia or it's US, Europe, if I'm a Chinese firm
attitude,
and the quota is 70%, and if I'm a Chinese firm and I'm the Chinese boss, I want to bring my Chinese people as my top management positions.
I agree.
It is a business decision. It's not
Yes.
a government. Then I will feel the 70% locals at the bottom, analysts and
Which is what happens in Singapore,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I'll feel the
Yeah.
bottom 70%, all the admin people and all the low level people. If I'm an Indian firm, I'll go to US, set up in US. I'll hire all my Indians as a top management. I mean, it's just a company and the bosses that's running it.
Okay. So then my point is, then what in motivation do you think our top degree holders with this kind of skill set abilities, what motivation do they have to stay in this country? That's why they fucking leave. That's why they don't want to stay here. Why the fuck do I spend thousands upon thousands dollars of my degree, right? And I'm fucking smart. I come out and then I don't have a job because you've given the top tier jobs to overseas people. Then fuck you lah. I want to give you my skill set for what? I fuck off somewhere else.
Because you shouldn't have studied accounting. You should have studied to be in a construction site.
Yep.
No, like if you study in like accounting, finance, where it's
hang on.
saturated,
You
you
get
don't
the
have a
point.
choice, right?
You get the point. You get the point I'm making here, no, bro?
Yeah, but there's no solution, put it that way.
It's the same everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we want to travel outside
No,
to
it's
study.
not the same everywhere.
It
People in every other Southeast Asian countries dream of coming to Singapore to work, and it's like a cycle. The grass is greener on the other side. I talk to everyone. I mean, I talk to people overseas. They also think Singapore is a dream location to work. And then for us, we want to work overseas.
My point is because this country gives priority to overseas people. That's why they want to come here. You ask Aussies whether they want to come here. They don't. They fucking like what they're given there because welfare is good. You ask a New Zealander. You ask him whether they want to come here.
And
right?
we also want to travel overseas to work because we're treated like expats there. So in a sense, like foreigners coming here are treated like expats. They get expat benefits. We want to travel out to work, so we get treated like expat in whatever country we go to also.
Yeah. I mean, and also going back to the topic about COVID.
Yeah, sorry.
How did we end up here from COVID lockdown measures?
I would say one of the main thing is the preference. I mean, I personally know some people where, I mean, and on some social media sites, you see some people getting special treatment where they're not quarantined properly and things like that. And then that has led to more cases. So inconsistencies in the system certainly led to a lot of the problems we see now. That seems to be the common thing.
Consistency.
Yeah.
but like, I don't know what you guys think about this, but something I personally would do as the government would actually, I would set up like a mini UN kind of thing, whereby everyone is required to share data about our cases, about what happened and stuff like that, and it's transparent for people to see.
Internationally?
Correct. Or at least at the minimum, Southeast Asian for ASEAN, whereby we all say, hey, Vietnam, you got X amount of case, don't fly over. Everyone agreed. Nobody comes through our borders from Vietnam until Vietnam gets their case handled and shit like that. But like a special body, I'll create a special body to handle cases like this, viruses like this, because if they don't do it globally, right, in a sense, I don't see it ever recovering, because it would just take another India, maybe happening in Brazil, or another breakout or mutation happening in another country, and we'll just keep going in lockdowns and lockdowns and lockdowns and lockdowns because of the virality of this virus.
Yeah. Exactly.
I did.
What happened? Ivan, you got here?
I disconnected. I middle of like a UN for COVID.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was saying how like it will just get more viral, and there'll be a lot more countries with the potential mutations, and it'll never end. So unless
Exactly.
countries really work together on a higher level, transparency, whereby the data is shared, it's not really like hidden. Everyone's kind of fucking hiding the data, not telling the truth. I don't believe anybody's telling the truth.
Yes.
And like, so people can really solve the issue.
Yeah, ideally
The
that would
perfect
be
world,
nice. In the perfect world.
world.
Because I was just thinking, like, how the hell would like Indonesia, for example, like get each state to kind of organize all the numbers in a transparent manner for reporting.
But I mean, as simple as just getting relevant data for every country's flights and where each potential case is coming from, I believe that data will help every country in the world.
Yeah. But here's the thing, do they have the resources to get the data, like India, like China?
I mean, that's where I'll spend my money.
Yeah.
But the sad thing now we are seeing is that because there's no trust, so it's every country for themselves, just isolate and then try to control from their borders.
It's really getting worse in that sense, where it's really everyone for themselves. We're not going to be traveling anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay, man. I think that's all for this topic. Unless you want to go back into talking about HR again.
No, thanks.
We delve so far out of topic.
Okay, but not bad. Ivan,
Yeah.
you want to end off, Ivan?
All right. So if you like what you hear, just do check us out on the Drunken Ramblings podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice.